may try to raise this up a little bit and see if we can't get it to turn. What I did, just use these blocks. They're good and tight now. I might have to jack it up to get them off of there, but use the block, just tilted the tractor up. That helped lift the machine up off the ground. But what it is, we've got a master pin as my track marker. We got a master pin here. It's got a dent in it. It's different than the other pins. We'll need to pull these two track pads and try to press this pin out. This track, I can't keep it tight. But what happens, you put grease in here, and this is actually a cylinder, and then there's a piston that goes inside of it. And Roxy's pointing there for you. You got to take this cap off to get to the grease zerk. And then back in here is there's a spring back here, and that must smell good or something. But in here there's a piston, and it's got a seal on it, and that's what adjusts your track. But you got a spring in here that helps against shock, like if a rock or something gets between your rail and your sprocket, or the idler, either one. There's a built-in cushion there with that spring, so that you have to, you know, the spring compresses probably a little bit whenever you tighten these up. But whenever I went to tighten it up, it tightened, and then as soon as I drove it, it loosened. So we pulled this cover off, and the seal was leaking grease. What is up with you? Huh? What is up with you? You just want some attention. But to get that out, you have to split the track, and these tracks don't have a master link. These have a master pin. So some of them have master link, and they're actually, you can pull the track pad bolts off, split the track, and that's easy. But these are not so easy. Anyway, we gotta get them bolts out of there. This is a press I kind of fabricated to do some bushings on the backhoe before. It might work just like it is, but the way I had it before, I had my hydraulic jack. Well, it's kind of a long story. I just have to show you a picture. But gonna have to do a little adjusting here and there and get this thing set up to where we can get a jack on there and push it out. And it could come down to just having to get a hammer and driving that thing out of there. I don't know. Might not be the handiest thing in the world to use here. And we're already crooked. Yeah, put the wrong one. So far, nothing's moving. I think it's a negative. She didn't budge. A minute ago, there it goes, working now. It didn't like the angle I had it sitting there. Okay. Now we're getting a little more on it. Things are getting pretty tight here. Ooh, that's real tight. Something gave. I think we got her started. There she went. I think something moved. There we go, maybe. Hopefully I got everything. That don't look good. We got problem is this thing's trying to bend on me, and I can't get a nice straight pull on it. At least I don't have one there, so I need to try to set it a little different. Try to get this jack more in the center. Okay, so I'm not really much of a machinist, but I have a lathe. I want to bore this washer out to the size that will fit over the shaft of my hydraulic jack, and that will keep that thing centered between the two rods. Might not make much sense now, but I'm needing to take this to about a 2 1/10, which is, it's right at, I need to go about, 2/10 bigger, or almost 1/4 inch. I've got a small boring tool, and I think it'll probably get us done here. This is just a washer that I had laying around. We'll see what we can do. Like I say, this is not the greatest machine shop around, but we will get our part made. Hopefully, we'll get our track split apart here. Oops, that was interesting. A little different. I got too much overhang there. Oops. Probably work better if I did it like this and clamped it down. That lowers the tool a little bit. It was a bit high. So Like I say, I'm not a machinist, but for building a tool to do something like this is pretty nice to have. This washer is kind of laminated or something. It's not the greatest. That'll work, I think. Oh yeah. That gives us about a tenth of the, or, oh, not a tenth. That gives us 10 thousandths clearance there. So you can see my washer's kind of a piece of crap anyway, so it'll be a good use for it to put it to work on this jack. And see, that'll fit my, that'll keep my jack. Once I put some, I've got to put some flat strap that'll go between here and my two rods that'll be on either side of this. That will keep the jack from trying to move on me, and that'll make it to where I can put a lot more pressure on. That's going to take care of the jack movement. And then this side here, this is going to be welded to here, and this will actually, I'll have it like this. Gives me a nice little surface to put a good bead in there. But I'm going to cut these holes out big enough to allow the pin to go through, and I mean it'll just barely fit through this. So I thought I was going to have to rebuild this piece here, but it will work. So what I need to do now is come up with a couple of straps to attach just a couple pieces I can put over to the rods on either side. And I didn't want to get this involved in this, but this most likely is going to need the other side done at some point, so I might as well take a little time now and build a tool to make it work better. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to torch these holes out, that way I can push through it. And then I got to fabricate a couple of, I need a couple of pieces of strap that I can punch some holes in, or drill or whatever, big enough for these. I may just burn it out of a piece of plate. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. What I'm doing here is just kind of marking my layout. That's where I want that washer to end up being. And then I'm going to use this, I'm going to cut these to fit in here, and then we'll burn some holes in them. I'm not going to get the drill out. I'm trying to rush through this a little bit faster than I normally do things, but all I want to do here is just get a good mark where I can cut this off. We'll make a weld on it. I'll make one for that side. And I've got enough material here. I'm not going to have a lot of waste. And we'll just fabricate up a little bracket here that will keep that jack centered. That washer's a mess. I'm glad I've got a use for it. This will actually help out when I'm doing bushings and that kind of stuff too. This will be a handy thing to have, so I don't mind taking the time to make this. Hi, Roxy. Hello. What we've got is about 2 inches from the edge of the washer to the edge of that hole. Actually, it's a little less than that. So we're going to go, I'm going to burn I don't know, I don't like using the end of the tape on stuff like this, so we're going to go over about 1 13/16 will work. Okay, so that'll be the edge of my 1-inch hole. That should be, that's actually a little bigger than 1 inch, so I'll cut inside the line, I hope. Again. Okay, so I'm gonna burn these out with the torch. Get it up here at a comfortable height. And usually when I do a hole, I'll start out in the middle and then cut out to the edge. That just makes it a little easier. Ah, slip. I might be getting rusty. Let's trim it out a bit. Probably the easy way to do this is to set that right there. Then we'll set our little washer we built. Oh my goodness. I missed that by about an 1/8 inch. Wow. Talk about a gap to fill. Same on both sides. Boy, I screwed that up. You'll see how all this is going to work when I'm done with it. Might not make sense right now, but galvanized washer, you shouldn't breathe these fumes. Don't breathe the galvanized fumes, alright? We'll just hold this in here and we'll fill this gap up. Come on. Alright, that should work. It'll be alright, I think. Make sure we keep that straight so it'll go through on this side. Clamp back on it. Looks like I need to move it over just a bit. That looks pretty close to the middle. Just using that to kind of hold things into place. do another little TIG weld here. This one might be better. Hold my bottle jack in place when I'm trying to use it. That's going to really be handy. Now, this piece here, I need to weld it on, centered up in the middle of that. Double check it here, make sure we're pretty close to center. We'll measure everything off these holes. Got right at 3. Spot in the middle. We got 2 and 15/16 and the same and the same. Looks good to me. Now we'll turn it back up. It's a little too hot. It's gonna be alright. Okay. Now I think I'm ready to assemble this thing back together. It'd be easier to do this on the floor. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go ahead and double nut this so. To make it a little bit easier to handle. Plate that on here. Looky there, that's gonna work, isn't it? That hole's big enough this jack can slide through it easy, so it's not going to bind up. And it should keep things from moving to the side. Put the pump to the bottom side, so maybe it'll pump, hopefully it will. Set this up against the pin. Okay, so that's, oops, wrong way. Once we get her in the right spot here, we're gonna lock her down and see what happens. I like that. All right, see what this thing will do. Get a very good pull on the lever because it's in a bad spot. That's the problem. We got some tension on it. Oh yeah, she moved that time. Problem is our push bar not going to let us go any farther. See if we got room for this longer pin now. Go with it here, see what happens. That's a lot of tension. Don't know if you felt that, but it released it. Looks like we got ourselves a track press here. At least we got a pin press, not a track press. She's working good. Now we might have hit the easy spot. I think we did. It's gonna come through easy for a little bit and then we're gonna hit it again. So. Boy, this is, how about that? Sometimes I get it right. We ain't far enough in here yet. We might have to put the press back on it. To press that last bit out, I think it's going to be tight. So, putting her back together, we're going to have a little different. Have a little different technique. Goodness. think it's probably far enough out that the track will split. Can't really tell. Oh yeah, she'll come out of there now, I think. I think if I can get that socket out of the way. Gotta remember this track's fixing to take off here. Can't tell if you got to take. Still tight. Okay, I think we're there now, I hope. I hope. Pin's out. Okay, so I might need to try to pull the tracks together, get slack in here so I can get that socket loose. I mean, seriously, this sucks a little bit here. There she went. Okay, and this is the moment when I pull this out, you're going to see why this is dangerous. It'll smash the hell out of your fingers if you ain't careful. So anyway, now we can get this off. Success.